is being recorded, and there is a presentation that goes along with it. Both the links to this morning's session as well as the presentations will be posted under the parent section on the website, as well as under the curriculum and instruction section on the website tomorrow. So this will be available for you to review at your leisure. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Dr. Burrows.
Good afternoon, parents, and thank you for joining us today as Ms. Jackson takes you through all things GSuites. Our students will be using GSuites this upcoming school year. It will be integrated into Schoology, which is the learning management system that was purchased by the State Department. So all assignments, teacher-made assignments, anything pertaining to school, announcements, emails, all of that would take place through GSuites. Thank you once again for logging on and joining us and trying to show you how everything is going to be working this upcoming school year. Thank you.
Ms. Boyd?
I would like to thank everyone for joining us this evening. Again, my name is Ms. Boyd, and I am the Math and Science Specialist. Appreciate you for just reaching out to us. We hope that you will spread the news, let other people know that we are here to assist you and your children during this time. We have other PDs coming up, so please let everybody know, share this news so we can make sure the parents are informed, because when we find out if the parents know what's going on, we can better assist with your children's education. Thank you.
Thank you both very much. And that is true. Please share with your neighbors, your friends. Let them know, text them now, tell them that we're on, because we do want to get this information out to as many people as we can. I am going to start sharing my screen. We're going to first start here with logging into Google. And I know so many people, I'm going to stop showing my face just because I distract myself when I'm talking. We know that a lot of people are using Gmail as their personal email account, and that is fine. We want you to continue to use that Gmail account for your personal, but one issue that I know a lot of parents were having back in the spring was that they were not able to switch from their personal account to their students' accounts, which was causing some issues with accessing Google Classroom, and also causing some issue, also having some issues with accessing teachers access. I see that one person is having difficulty connecting their audio. If you're able to communicate in the chat, you can, but the best thing to do is either log out and try to log back in, or you can dial, hold on, let me see if I can pull up the information for you to call by phone. I work on getting that information pulled up for you to be able to log in by phone so that you'll have full access. Okay, I went ahead and put the invitation with the phone numbers in the chat box. Use the Chicago number, which is 312 626-6799 to call in if you need audio connection, and use the passcode lowercase we, the letter R, BESS, BESS, K12. And that's how you can connect your audio if you're having difficulty. And that can also be shared if someone doesn't have a computer, they can call in by phone, a computer or phone. Gonna start back sharing my screen. Okay, and again, parents do have, some people have Gmail accounts, and that's fine. Here, I just left this account up for this session. So if you have a personal account that you are logged into, it may come up this way. So every time you click on Gmail, it may go directly here, or every time you click Google, it may go directly here. In order to log out of your personal account and log into your student account, you'll have to click over in the top right-hand corner. You'll see a little circle. Mine has a picture in there because I changed the profile picture. But if you look here, that little Dory has another profile picture, and this test student just has a T. So you'll just see an initial there. It can be either way. If you have your picture, your personal picture up, that's fine. But look in this top right-hand corner, and you can click either manage your Google account, but I really suggest clicking sign out of all accounts. Now listen, I can reset all the student passwords that need to be reset. I can't reset your personal one. So I know that can be frustrating if you don't necessarily remember your password, but if you don't remember your password, you could just click add another account. But just to keep you from being confused about whose inbox you're in, why you can't join Google Classroom, sign out of all of the accounts. It'll come up like this, and then you're going to click on use another account. Here, you're going to put in your student's school email address. Even if your child has a personal Gmail address, they will have to use their school email address for multiple reasons. The main ones are because if they're accessing on school devices, anything that may be in question, we can access their personal information, which we don't want to have to do. Another thing is they won't have access to all of the content that's being shared if they're not using a Best K-12 account. All the student addresses are first initial, last name. If they have a name that is common, like John Smith, they may be J Smith 1, J Smith 10, or something like that. So they at least have their first initial, last name, and some may be followed by a letter. This last portion after the @ sign is always going to be students with an S .bestk12.org. If you don't know your child's email address, that information will be shared by your child's teacher the very first week of school, because that's how we're going to be communicating. One parent asked this morning, well, how will we be communicated with initially? We are going to use parent email addresses based on the registration portal. So make sure your child is registered with your correct email address, because that is how we will communicate initially. After you input your child's email address, you're going to have to input the password. This little I will reveal what the password is, so you can make sure your child is typing it correctly. And then you will see an inbox here, okay? So once you're in, this is how your student's email box will look. Everyone's looks pretty much the same. You'll see inbox here, anything that they've highlighted or starred that may be of importance. You may see it here, anything that's been snoozed, and that just means, like, I have all these G team emails that pop up. You may just start snoozing those. You may not want to delete them, but you may not want to get any sort of ding or notification about those. So those may be snoozed. Anything that they've sent any drafts that have been started, emails that have been started but maybe not sent, anything that is deemed important, and that can be from the sender. There's a way to send an email with high importance. Any chats, and we'll talk about that a little bit. Anything that they pre-schedule, which they may decide to do that. You can click on all mail for everything to show. Any spam, that's your junk folder. Anything in the trash, trash empties every 30 days. And any categories or labels they may have set up are here. Also, within this section, you're going to see Meet, and we'll talk about Meet a little bit more shortly. But Google Meet is similar to Zoom. It is a Google product that mimics Zoom almost to the T at this point. This is how the teachers will be communicating live virtually. That sounds weird. That's where their live stream will come from, Google Meet. So it's important that we're using student email addresses because that's the only way that they'll be able to access it. Hangouts and Meet are similar, but there are more people able to join when they're using that Google Meet app. So we won't talk about Hangouts much. On this right side, you'll see a little icon for their calendar. So if you are a parent that likes to stay organized and put due dates and things of that nature within a calendar, you can use this calendar app. Anything that comes from any sort of Google Classroom that the child has been made a student in, those due dates will automatically populate to the calendar. Okay, they'll automatically populate over here to this calendar. Okay, so anything that's been set up for due dates, all of that populates here in this calendar. This is Google Keep. This is like a electronic to-do list. We use it in my household personally for grocery lists, so I don't run to the store and forget something, or they think about something and I'm already in the store with no phone access. That's tasks that you need to complete. As you complete them, you can just check them off. And I'm just letting you know what's on this screen, okay? This is your Gmail inbox. It looks very much like anybody else's personal Gmail box if that is something that you use personally, okay? From here, I am going to go directly to Google Classroom, okay? So in Google Classroom, silence my phone. In Google Classroom, the app can be accessed by using the 9-dot menu. Some people call it the waffle menu that is up that appears in the top right hand corner in any Google app that you may have open. Okay, that 9-dot menu is always available. So if you click on that 9-dot menu, you'll see the Classroom app. It looks like a chalkboard with 3 people that are available on that chalkboard. And that's how you will access Google Classroom. You'll just click there. Now, the reason that it's going here is because I'm already signed in as this student. If I weren't signed in and I went to Classroom, I'd have to sign in, put my password there, and click next, and then it'll populate right here. The reason that you see this join is because on the teacher side, that teacher has added your child's email address to their class as a student. So in your email or the student's email, you'll get a class invitation that looks like this, okay? It'll say hi and your student's name. This person using this email address invited you to the class. And then you can click from your email, you can click join. Okay. And once you click join, now you're in that teacher's Google Classroom. Anything that that teacher communicates, be it an announcement or an assignment, there you're going to be able to see it on your child's login. Now, last spring, parents were concerned that they weren't able to actually log into the classroom with their personal email address. You still won't be able to join the class as a student, but you will be able to have parent access to Google Classroom. Okay. That means that your platform won't look like this necessarily. You'll just be able to message the teacher. Okay. So here's what you see when you log in. You'll see the teacher's class name. If they've added a section, you'll see that information here. This is a question that the teacher has posed. How was your day? How was your day? I had a busy day. So this is something that your student would be able to click on and type an answer. And then they can turn it in. This is important right here. Just because I type this sentence in does not mean that it's ready to be graded. You're going to see some instructions that say turn it in. You're going to see some things that say submit. Either way, make sure that after the whatever the question or the assignment or even the discussion is complete, you submit or you turn it in. Okay. Do I want to make any changes? I don't. I just want to turn it in. And that assigned up in the top right hand corner has now turned into turned in. So I know that I've completed that. Okay. If I had classmates, we would be able to see each other's answers to this question if the teacher had allowed us to see the answers to this question. Anytime you want to return to the home page or the stream, the dashboard, depending on what you want to call it, you just click on that class name and it returns you to the home screen or the stream. When the teacher is posting on this page, something like these comments or anything that you say, share something with the class, those postings are for everyone to see. Now, there are settings where the teacher can change it to for them to have to approve those posting first. But I'm saying that to say this is not how you as a parent want to communicate with the teacher. Okay. You don't want to do it from here. Okay. Are there any questions about the stream page on Google Classroom? I should have asked that question about Gmail too, but y'all can ask questions. You are able to unmute yourself. On the classwork section, it's going to post any specific assignment, question, quiz, anything that the teacher has assigned for that class that day. So if she'd assigned a quiz, if she'd assigned a test, if she'd assigned a worksheet, all of those things would appear here. Okay. I could view the work that I submitted as a student. I can view what may have been assigned that I didn't turn in, what may have been returned if the teacher had a question or I made a mistake, and anything that may be missing that I haven't done that I need to attend to. Okay. All of that can be found on the classwork tab. And again, to return to the home page or the stream or the dashboard, you just click on the class name in the top left-hand corner. If you click on people, when there's a full class in, you'll see teachers, if they have co-teachers, if there are any special education teachers that are also working within that class, if there, and you may even see administrators here, you may even see me here or Dr. Burrows or Miss Boyd or Miss Cook. because we will be added to some of those classes. You'll see these teachers. This little envelope here is the way you email the teacher. Okay, so if you needed to send something private, a message directly to the teacher, this is the way your child or you can do that by clicking on the envelope right outside that teacher's name and sending them a personal message. And it'll just open up whatever email service that you use. Okay. That is how you're going to communicate with the teacher in the classroom. If you see right here in the top left hand corner, there's a 3-line menu that you can click on. On that calendar, if I had posted something as a teacher that was due, all of those things would be listed here. Anything that's a to-do list would be listed here. If I had classes from last year, those classes would be archived there. Okay. Are there any questions about the basics of Google Classroom? Let me say this too. If someone was not receiving the Google Classroom link to their email and the teacher actually sent out a link or a classroom code, I'm going to show y'all what the classroom code looks like. Okay. So if I wanted to send the classroom code, or if you received a code, if you call or email the teacher and they send you that classroom code rather than the link, you'll just go to Google Classroom and then you'll click join. That'll be in the top right hand corner. And then you would put in that classroom code. Let me see if I can get there for you to see how that looks. Do you see this little plus sign in the top right hand corner? You click there. Your student will not see create a class. I'm in as a teacher, but to join a class, you just click join and then you would input whatever class code was sent there. Remember, you can join on the parent side, but if you are trying to join as your student and you put your personal email or you're logged in as yourself, your class code may be rejected. If you're having issues with your class code, contact your teacher. Let her know. The first thing that she's going to ask is, are you logged in as the student? So make sure that you pay close attention to that. Any questions about the basics of Google Classroom? Okay. If you have any questions, we do have a parent email address. It's bcsparents with an S at bestk12.org. That information is available on the website, and I will put it in the chat before we leave here. Okay. Within Google Classroom, you may see where the teacher uploads a Google Doc or a Google Slide, okay? Google Docs is very similar to Microsoft Word if you've ever used Microsoft Word or even Word Perfect or any sort of word processing software. It's very similar to those products. And when you access it for the first time, it does allow you to take a tour and it highlights some of the areas that you will be using. It gives you these little blurbs to help you navigate. Okay. If a teacher uploads a Google Doc, all the student will have to do within Classroom is click on that doc. But say the teacher asks the student to do an essay or a report. There are some templates that are available for you to expand that gallery. You can click on template gallery, and there are some options here for you. So you don't have to figure it all out how to set it up yourself. There are some right here available for you. But just say they want you to create a Google Doc and add your name. This is for your student, their address, their phone number, and their parents' name and parents' email. This may be something that's assigned to the student. So the student will just click on that blank document to open up a Google Doc and start typing your name or whatever was requested. Okay, it's just like Word. You have file where you can start a new page or open something that's already here. You can download this as a Word document. So if you're using a computer in the household that has Word on it, if you'd like to save all the documents as Word documents, you can do so. They can email this document as an attachment directly to their teacher. They don't have to do that. I'm going to show you why shortly. They can add a shortcut to this drive to their Google Drive, which we're not going to talk about today, but this will be beneficial for organization purposes, okay? Later, just say they had a running document of all the books that they were reading each night or each week. They can add a shortcut so they can access it pretty easily. These other published to the webs and changing the language they won't need to do, but you can print anything if you have printer access at your house. You can print these documents. They download as a PDF prior to being sent to the printer. The reason that I said you don't have to email it as an attachment, especially to the teacher, is this right here in the top right hand corner, this share button. If they click on that share, they're going to ask them to name the document, or they could skip it, but I suggest that they name it, and they can add their teacher here to share this document with. If they wanted to type a message to their teacher, they could here, okay? And all they would have to do is press send. But if you look right here, it's saying that the teacher can edit this document. Sometimes you may not want the teacher to edit it. You may just want them to be able to comment, and you have that privilege there, okay? And then you could send that to the teacher, and now it's gone. The teacher has access to this document, and if the teacher were to open it, you would see that she opened this document. You could just click on that little activity dashboard there, and it'll let you know who has done what in that document. So if you're ever questioning, did the teacher really see it? Did the teacher really receive it? All of that information is accessible here. On file, I didn't point out a save button. And if you're a save, yeah, I'm gonna say a save click. If you're familiar with Word, they have save. These documents automatically save to your Google Docs folder and to your Google Drive, so you don't have to save anything. All your changes are automatically saved. It has the regular features of Word. You can undo something that you've done, redo. You can copy and paste here. You can view it in print layout, which is generic, or you can view it in as an editor, as somebody suggesting things that need to be edited. So if the teacher sent an assignment to correct the errors in these sentences, they may say that you're just suggesting the edits, which would pop out a little box that look like this, and you say capitalize, capital. It'll be something that looks like that. You can insert images, so you can upload them from your computer, or you can even search the web here for images. You can insert other things as well. You can format, you can change your text to bold or italics, or you can change the text format altogether. All of those features are still here. They still have spell check available, even word count. If you're required to do a 300-word essay, you can count your words there. The students won't be able to get their own add-ons unless permissions have been set prior to, so they'll have to request that information, but you can still center things. Your alignments are still the same. You can still add numbers or bullets if you need to, so all of those features are still here. As in all the other Google Suite apps, you'll see your calendar, your keeping your task over here that's available. Right here is a cool little tool that will help students some. This will pop out if you just want an image. You can just click on that little explore button in the bottom and it'll bring up images, and you can see it, or you can drop it and drag it and you don't have to search. That explore button is going to be your friend when you're doing projects and assignments with your students. That's another little nugget that I didn't even plan to share. Any questions about Google Docs? Any questions about Google Docs? Okie dokie. I am going to move to slides. Okay, slides is similar to PowerPoint. So if you have done any sort of PowerPoint presentations, or if your students have had to do PowerPoint presentations in the past, that's what Google Slides mimics. Again, they do have some general templates that you can use. So if they needed to make a science fair project from home, they can click on that science fair project template. They don't have to try to figure out the format themselves, and they can go through and change the words, change the pictures, put their own content in, but it's already set up for you. Okay, so that's available for you in slides. But just say a teacher wanted them to create a slide presentation from scratch. They would just click on the plus sign for blank, and they would start typing a slideshow here, and they can add additional slides. They can select the format of the slide. Maybe they want some pictures added there. And remember that explore button is available in docs and sheets in most of your apps. And if I wanted to add a picture, I just click it and drag it over there, and I can add something to my slideshow and format it and everything. If I wanted it not to be so plain, I could look over here and find me a nice little cutesy template to use, and I'm still creating it from scratch. You can still resize your pictures, anything you may need to do here, it's available. Any kind of presentation you need to do. You can also insert videos directly from YouTube. Elephants, no elephants, frogs. So if your teacher said insert a video that's 3 minutes or less, I hope nobody's afraid of frogs, because I just pulled them up. I'm really sorry if you are. And you can pop a video right in. Wolves howl at frogs. And if they needed to create something, they could do that here. Okay. It has the same features of PowerPoint. When you can format it however you want. You can arrange your slides however you want. You can rearrange. It has your spell check. Again, no add-ons unless those are previously approved, but it's just like your PowerPoint presentations would be, and that explore button down there at that bottom is your friend. It also has a share option, just like Google Docs, so you don't have to worry about saving it. You just share it with your teacher. And if you don't want her to move any of your pictures around, you can just say she can view it and you can send it. Okay? That is Google Slides. You will probably use that more often this year than has been in the past. Okay, that is G Suites in a nutshell. There's much more to G Suites than that. We will talk about it more. Oh, let me go over Meet. Since most of these live virtual meetings will be over Google Meet, again, it looks very similar to Zoom, but you'll get a meeting. You'll either get a meeting link, like you clicked on the Zoom link, or they may give you a code that you enter to join. Okay? If you have the code to join, you'll just enter it here and you'll continue your meeting. It'll pop up just like this. It'll access your camera just like Zoom. If you allow access to your camera, it will do that for you as well. Okay, you can't see much of anything because my Manicam is on too. If you are here, it'll show you to join now. And that is what you do. That's what your student will do to join their teacher's Google Meet. It's as simple as that, literally. They'll just click join as long as they have the link or the code and they can see their teacher presenting in real time. We're going to have a session later that's just on Google Meet that will be in Google Meet so that we can practice going through that. Okay, I know that most of us want to check our students' grades either daily or weekly. In order to do that, we have to have access to the iNow parent portal. I'm going to use my son's just because we don't have a mock student here. So you'll get a username and a password to utilize for iNow parent portal. I'm going to go in a pass school here. And on this iNow parent portal, you'll see the school calendar. If they've had any days off, you can see where they put in their regularly scheduled days so that they can make sure that they're putting in grades. I don't know, maybe this was Labor Day that year and maybe this was, I don't know, fall break. You can see any attendance that they've had. Attendance will look a little bit different this year, but you'll still see, be able to access attendance. You can access the demographic area. I won't click on that because it does show my real address. If that child has had any discipline infractions, those would show here. Any sort of grades that that child may have had, it'll show here. Okay. It'll show that child's schedule. I won't click on, hold on, let me pause my screen and then I'll click on the comprehensive progress. Anything that is clicked on like comprehensive progress, report card, unofficial transcript, all of that downloads as a PDF. So make sure that you, hold on, let me scroll a little bit. Make sure that you're ready for that you're looking for the download. If you have a pop-up blocker on, it will not download. So anytime you want to just print out a progress report or anything like that, make sure you have your pop-up blocker off, and you can look and see anything that's been assigned, how it's been graded. If you look here, like at this reflections quiz, how there's no grade before on the left side of the slash, that means that that's not turned in. So anytime you're looking to see why that child got a 0, they didn't turn that quiz or assessment in there. Okay. That's it. You can go ahead and preview the report card. I won't download all these because they're old. Um, the report card or even an unofficial transcript, um, especially for those high school students. And that is iNow Parent Portal. You will get a letter to access the parent portal for your child, so that you can monitor their grading. Let me know if you have any questions. You are welcome to unmute yourself if you do have questions and ask that question. If not, you can access. I'm going to stop sharing this screen, and I am going to type the parent email address in the chat box, which is bcsparents@bestk12.org. And you are welcome to email your questions at a later time if you don't have any right now, or if you think of some later, or if you can't unmute yourself. You're welcome to ask your questions at a later time in that email address. And I'll give you a few seconds. And if there are no questions, I thank you for joining. This will be up tomorrow on the website. We will have additional PD throughout the week, as well as, really throughout the month, all the way into the month of September and maybe beyond, depending on what people need or request. I really thank you for joining today. And if you need anything from us, please feel free to reach out. We are available. We do really want to support our parents, supporting their students in the household during this new day and age that we're in. Thank you all so much. Have a great evening. Let us know if you have any questions. Goodbye.